all start.
What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about OTR trucking. You know what it is, cons. You know, would I recommend it? All of that stuff. We'll also talk a little bit about dedicated routes, local work, all of that. So OTR, that's where you're home. I mean, when you're on a truck every day, you know, this is your home. This is the place where you sleep. This is the place where you wake up. You know, you're working here. You're working from home every day, basically. Most companies let you go home monthly if you're OTR, but you got to run a certain amount before you could make that happen. So, and also keep in mind, experience-wise, most companies want OTR experience before you could get that good dedicated route or local. Usually about 3 months to a year experience. Everything's harder when you do OTR. Like, you gotta plan everything out. Parking is really difficult. Like it is so hard to find a parking spot out here. You know, because if you're trying to run a good 9 to 5, like a consistent schedule, it's almost impossible because you will never find parking. It is so difficult. So you can run. So it's better to run early morning, which a lot of truckers do. 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Get up, end your day. 10 hours from there, 4 or 5, whatever, and you might be able to find a parking spot. 3, 4, 5, yeah, you might be able to find a parking spot. If you're doing a regular 9 to 5, it's almost impossible. Or late night, end your day, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., you can find parking. It also depends on what area you're in, but it is so difficult to find parking. Like, you always got to plan your trip out, and remember that, like, you need somewhere to park. You need your backup options, then you need your backup options. Because it's almost impossible to find a parking spot out here. Some of these truck stops. Let's talk about hygiene. If you're used to taking a shower every day, like I was, you get out here and you realize that is very difficult to do. And when you're running, when you got a tight load, you got an 8-hour drive, you can't stop and take a shower. Like, that's not always available to you. So some days you might be 2-3 days without a shower. So it's important to have a hygiene plan. You gotta keep good hygiene while you're out here, because you're going to be in front of these security guards, and nobody likes somebody that smells bad. So remember, keep good hygiene. Always plan your route so you can find parking, so you can find the showers, the bathrooms, all of that. Now, personally, when I do long trips, like the one I got tomorrow, 24-hour drive, I stop every 4 or 5 hours to go to the bathroom. I'm not one of those truckers that's about to use the bathroom in the truck. Like, that's disgusting. I'm not into that. So, yeah, not that kind of trucker. But, to each their own. It gets lonely out here. It's important to keep a social circle. You need people to call. You need people to talk to. And I'll make a different video out here about, things to do while you're driving, so you can stay up. So we're not really going to discuss that here, but just keep people to talk to because it gets lonely here. I want to get a puppy for the truck, and I'll make a video of when I get him, a little vlog, because I feel like I need someone on the truck. Been by myself for 3 months, so I want a dog. All right, let's get into dedicated. Dedicated. That's where you're home every weekend. Usually, most dedicated routes are with an account like Dollar General, Walmart, or Target, something like that. So you're on a fixed account usually. Usually you pick up a load at the DC or whatever, the home, whatever, and you make a couple stops through the week. Most dedicated accounts I've seen is touch freight. I know they got some out there that are not, but a lot of them are. And honestly, they pay the most. Like the Dollar General account for night, I mean, that's like $1,700-1,800 a week. That's not bad at all. So, but you're unloading the truck yourself. It's a lot of physical labor. Whereas OTR, I'm just driving. I'm driving. I might open and close the doors here and there, slide the tandems, and then, that's it. That's the most physical work I'm doing. Out here OTR. So local, let's talk about local. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. Local, you're working local. You're home every night. Usually, you're on an hourly rate. I don't know a lot of local accounts that I've looked at that pays about a mile. Usually you're not going more than 200 miles from your home, so keep that in mind. If you want that good 9 to 5 or something like that, that's probably the best option because you're home every night. You know, most local accounts, are like 9 to 5, 8 to 6, or whatever the case may be. You can have a normal, consistent schedule. Unlike us OTR guys, we're out here wherever. So just keep that in mind. If you got any questions, comment below.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Party like a rock star, look like a movie star, play like an all-star.